Hi, welcome to the introductory video to DHP H204, Classics of International Relations. You might be wondering why I even teach this course. There are other courses out there sort of on cutting edge international relations research. Why teach a course on what we would consider works that in some cases are more than 2,500 years old? And the answer for that, I think, can be found in a quote that John Maynard Keynes once gave about the influence of ideas on the real world. He said, "The ideas of economists and political philosophers, both when they are right and when they are wrong, are more powerful than is commonly understood. Indeed, the world is ruled by little else. Practical men who believe themselves to be quite exempt from any intellectual influence are usually the slaves of some defunct economist. Madmen in authority, who hear voices in the air, are distilling their frenzy from some academic scribbler of a few years back. I am sure the power of vested interests is vastly exaggerated compared with the gradual encroachment of ideas." And the point here is that in many ways, a lot of the sort of modern international relations scribes, as we think of them, are in debt or owe a debt to their intellectual predecessors. But sometimes the ideas that they think they're emulating from their intellectual predecessors are not actually what they are. And so, a good way to understand and appreciate current international relations theory is to understand what has been written before, and not just the sort of précis of what has been written before, but rather the actual text of what has been written before. And so, essentially, this course is a great books course. Each week, we will be tackling a canonical text, starting with Thucydides' History of the Peloponnesian War and going up to Tickner's Gender and International Relations. And we're going to read in almost all of these instances the entire book. And then we will read a few sort of modern pieces of scholarship and policy writing that evokes that work. And the question we're going to be asking is, are they evoking it correctly or are they twisting the words? There's a lot of concepts that come from, let's say, Thucydides' history or Kant's democratic peace or what have you. And how they're treated now might not necessarily be actually how the original author treated them. And it's worth considering the degrees to which those ideas have drifted. In terms of the course mechanics, I cannot stress this enough. Do not take this course unless you are planning to do the reading. This course is going to be a 2-hour seminar in which we are basically just going to talk about the text. And I am not going to do a lot of the talking. You will all be required to email me seminar discussion questions about 5 or 6 hours before we meet. I will then edit those questions and then send them out back to you. And then essentially the course will consist of weekly sessions in which we go over each of these books. If you have not done the reading, it is going to be very painful. It'll be somewhat painful for me. It'll be much more painful for you because I'm going to ask questions and I'm not going to answer them. I'm going to wait to see how you answer them. And so, again, don't be prepared or don't think about enrolling in this course unless you are legitimately prepared to do the work. Please go over the syllabus to see what I am requiring of you in terms of reading and in terms of participation. But if you do want to take the course, I look forward to seeing you in January.